Chapter 8 Review. First, we're going to factor out a GCF. You don't have a common number, but you do have a common variable, x and y. If you want to put a 1 there, you can. So 7x goes in x squared, x times. Y goes into y squared, y times. Bring down the plus. 21. X goes in x evenly. Y goes into y squared, y minus xy goes in xy 1 times. So you close your parentheses. Number 2, we're going to factor out a 3ab. 3 goes into 6 2 times. A goes into a cubed, a squared. B goes into b squared, b times. Minus 3 goes into 15 5 times. A goes into a squared, a. B goes in b to the 4th, b to the 3rd. Plus 3ab goes into 3ab 1 time. Number 2, we're going to factor by grouping, so we're going to group the first two together. You have to have a minus sign, a plus sign in between, so that minus has got to go inside the parentheses. Now I'm going to factor out a 3p, and I get n plus 5. And if the first term is a negative, you must factor out a negative. So I'm going to factor out a negative 4. And when you factor out a negative, it changes the sign, so that's n plus 5. So now I factor out n plus 5 times 3p minus 4. Number 4, I'm going to factor by grouping. I factor out a 2m, and I get k minus 6. Bring down the plus sign, and I'm going to factor out a 7, and I get 6 minus k. Now there's a problem. These two are not the same. It's what's called that additive inverse. So you scratch this out or erase it, rewrite the problem, switching the last two terms around. Group the first two together, put that negative inside, group the last two together. Now I'm going to factor out a 2m and get k minus 6. And then I'm going to factor out a negative 7, and I get k minus 6. Now I'm going to factor out a k minus 6 times 2m minus 7. That is my answer. Number 5, I'm going to factor in 2 binomials. My signs are going to be the same. They're both going to be negative. Factors of 12 that add up to get 8. There's 2 and 6. Now number 6, I have to get it equal to 0 before I can factor. And this is really factoring and solve. Because anytime you have an equation sign, so I have to get it equal to 0. Now, first I'm always going to look to see if I have a GCF. I do not. So I'm going to factor, I'm going to do the guess and check method. So factors of x are 1x and 5x. My signs are going to be the same. Now factors of 10, either 1 and 10 or 2 and 5. I'm going to try the 2 and the 5. Check, my outside is a 5x and my inside is 10x, and that does not give me 27x. So I am going to flip the 2 and the 5 around. Now my outside is 2x and my inside is 25x, which gives me 27x. Now you can check on another sheet of paper if you would like. Now I'm going to put each binomial equal to 0. So x is equal to negative 5 and x is equal to negative 2/5. Okay, example 7, I'm going to do let me do the AC method. My basic AC method is multiplying 4 times 15, so you have to have a calculator. And 4 times 15 is 60. Now, I want to find factors of 60 that add up to get 15. 6 times 10 add up to get 16, not 17. So I'm going to try a 12. 12 times 5 is 60, and they add up to get 17. So there's the factors. So I want to split the middle term. And it really doesn't matter which one you write first. Group my first two together, group my last two together. So I'm going to get factor out of 4x, and I get x plus 3, and then I'm going to factor out of 5 and get x plus 3. Now I'm going to factor out an x plus 3 times 4x plus 5. Put each one equal to 0. And solve. X is equal to negative 3. 4x is equal to negative 5. Divide, so x is equal to negative 5 over 4. Number 8, that's the difference of two perfect squares. It factors into 7x plus 9 times 7x minus 9. And number 9, I think it's a perfect square trinomial that factors into 3x minus 7 times 3x minus 7. But always check. That's a negative 21, that's a negative 21, which is a negative 42. So yes, it is a perfect square trinomial. If you want to go one step further and write 3x minus 7 quantity squared, that's fine, but it's not necessary. Number 10, factor completely. You will look at your flowchart. First thing, GCF. Do I have a common factor in all three terms? The only thing I can find is 5. No, 3 is my GCF. 3 goes into 15 5 times. 3 goes into 4. And 3 goes into 375, 125m minus 100. Now, I have to factor this by grouping. What might be easier is if you just rewrote it without bringing down the parentheses and the 3, because you're going to have to factor by grouping. So I'm going to group the first two together and group the last two together. Now I'm going to factor out an m squared, and I get 5 m plus 4. And then I'm going to factor out a negative because my first term is a negative. Now, the common factor that goes into 125 and 100 is a 25. So I'm going to factor out a negative 25. And I get positive 5m plus 4. Now I'm going to factor out a 5m plus 4. And what's left over? M squared minus 25. Now's a good time to bring down that 3. Do not forget to bring it down. Now, we're not finished. Can't do anything with the 3. Can't do anything with the 5m plus 4. But the m squared minus 25, that is screaming. I'm a difference of two perfect square. Now I'm finished. Number 11, factor completely. I've got to find my GCF first. Remember, GCF. 2x is my GCF. And I get 2x squared plus 5x minus 42. Now, this is a trinomial that I'm just going to have to factor in two binomials. My signs are going to be different. Factors of x are 1x and 2x. I'm going to do the guess and check method. But list all the factors of 42. I'm going to try the 6 and the 7. My outside is a negative 7x. and my inside is 12x, which is a positive 5x. Got it right the first time. Now I can bring down the 2x. Do not forget to bring down the 2x. And that is my answer. Number 12, the square root property. I have to take the square root. When you square a square root, what's inside just falls out. Don't forget to give it plus or minus. And the square root of 144 is 12. So now we have to add 9 to both sides. Now we have to separate this to say x is equal to 9 plus 12, which is 21, or x is equal to 9 minus 12, which is a negative 3. Number 13, take the square root. That's x minus 4 is equal to plus or minus, and the square root of 7 is 2.6. So we add 4 to both sides. So that's x is equal to 4 plus 2.6, which is a 6.6. Or x is equal to 4 minus 2.6. Now, be very careful about your decimals. That's 4.0 minus 2.6. You have to borrow, so that's 1.4. And that is the end of the review. Good luck on your test.